blizzard stopping us, we working.
In an unexpected move that stunned many in the boxing world, Terence Crawford has jumped back into the grind of training much earlier than anyone anticipated ahead of his blockbuster clash with Canelo Alvarez. But it's not just the early start that's raising eyebrows, it's the sheer intensity of what Crawford is doing behind closed doors. His most recent training footage is electrifying, showing a version of Crawford we haven't quite seen before. The video reveals him grinding through drills with a laser-sharp focus, pushing his body to levels that suggest he's chasing something greater than victory, he's chasing immortality. The pace, the power, the precision, it's all on display, and fans and critics alike are now beginning to understand just how serious Crawford is about this challenge. Crawford isn't just going through the motions or relying on what's worked in the past. He's blending power, technique, and innovation in ways that show he's coming to this fight prepared for war. His training routine includes much more than just weightlifting or standard boxing drills, it's a full-body commitment to athletic evolution. He's adding layers to his game, focusing on strength, speed, reflexes, and adaptability as he aims to join the elite club of fighters who've conquered Canelo Alvarez. And despite rumors of a setback, Turki Alakshik confirmed that Crawford's recovery from a minor injury was rapid. The subsequent video footage proves it, Crawford looks stronger than ever. With a clean record and a reputation for outthinking his opponents, Crawford continues to prove that greatness is built on discipline, recovery, and an obsession with progress.
Good round, good round.
The foundation of Terence Crawford's dominance lies in a hyper-disciplined and dynamic training program that would leave most athletes gasping for air. At the heart of his prep for Canelo is a formula designed to sharpen every aspect of his craft, from footwork and timing to punch velocity and stamina. But what truly sets Crawford apart is his rare ambidexterity. His ability to land devastating shots with both hands isn't just a physical gift, it's the result of countless hours of muscle memory drills and targeted neurological training. As one of only 3 current boxers to hold undisputed titles in 2 different weight classes, Crawford's mastery isn't just historic, it's revolutionary.
Deep breath. Keep doing what you're doing. Just using that jab good. Using that jab good.
Boasting a flawless record of 41 wins and 31 knockouts, Terence Crawford stands as one of the most accomplished fighters in the modern era. At 36, a stage where many athletes begin to fade, Crawford remains at the pinnacle of performance. That's no accident. For the past 3 fights, he has joined forces with Victor Conte, a cutting-edge performance specialist known for pushing human limits through science-backed conditioning. Conte's methods are helping Crawford bridge the age gap as he climbs into a higher weight class for perhaps his most high-stakes bout yet. It's a calculated evolution, one that revolves around optimization rather than overexertion. Every rep, every breath, every moment of recovery is meticulously timed to ensure he reaches peak form on fight night. Kent, a key member of Crawford's scientific performance team, didn't mince words when evaluating Crawford's current condition. "This is next level," he said. "This is beyond elite, it's borderline superhuman." After working with Crawford for 4 fights and analyzing a wide range of biometric data, Kent believes this version of Crawford is the sharpest yet. Training in the oxygen-thin air of Colorado Springs, nearly 7,000 feet above sea level, Crawford has been building a gas tank unlike anything his opponents are prepared for. High-altitude training forces the body to adapt, producing more red blood cells and enhancing oxygen delivery, a brutal but effective strategy that's paying off as Crawford prepares to take on a powerful opponent like Canelo.
Well, yeah, the fighters that I work with, I do not encourage them to do any road work. If they do, I try to keep it down to once a week.
Kent explains that once an athlete transitions from high altitude to sea level, performance can initially dip, a natural physiological response. That's why recalibration is key. Crawford's team is using advanced monitoring tools to balance his body after the transition, ensuring his system responds by surging with improved endurance and resilience. And it's working. His metrics are soaring. In Los Angeles, Crawford is now utilizing an advanced open-air oxy mask designed to increase oxygen absorption to unprecedented levels. Normally, we breathe air with about 20.9% oxygen, Kent said. But with this system, Crawford is breathing in nearly 68% oxygen, which boosts recovery and keeps his engine running stronger and longer.
Under 3 miles. And the reason is you're developing slow twitch muscle fiber when you do tempo type long distance road work.
Kent breaks it down like this: think of hemoglobin in red blood cells like empty seats on a bus. Each seat can carry oxygen to the body's tissues. With superoxygenation, those seats are completely filled, and then some. The excess oxygen seeps into the plasma, giving the body even more fuel to flush out lactic acid, ammonia, and other metabolic byproducts. It's an advanced method that simulates the benefits of altitude training without needing to physically relocate. Kent's approach is cutting edge, even controversial. Once the center of a federal steroid scandal at Balco, he has since redefined his career by channeling his expertise into legal, groundbreaking recovery techniques. What was once a story of controversy has now evolved into one of redemption and reinvention.
Genetically, there's obvious variation, but you're about 50% slow, 50% fast. The type of training that you do can make you 80% fast.
After a brief 4-month prison stint over 2 decades ago, Victor Conti has reinvented himself into a pillar of legal performance science. Today, his company SNAC works with some of boxing's biggest names: Devin Haney, Demetrius Andrade, Claressa Shields, and now, Terence Crawford. The SNAC approach to recovery combines science-backed supplements, sleep optimization, and oxygen therapy. Inside Crawford's hotel room, a specialized diffuser delivers oxygen directly through a nasal and oral mask, allowing him to recover with military-level efficiency. According to Conti, this process flushes metabolic waste from the body more quickly than traditional methods, allowing Crawford to bounce back after each training session faster and stronger. Crawford himself is feeling the effects of all this meticulous preparation. "I feel stronger, more energized. I won't have to drop those final 7 pounds, and that makes a big difference," he explained. Blood tests and wearable sensors confirm his physical dominance. From heart rate to hydration levels, everything is optimized. His resting heart rate is a full third lower than the average adult male, and his breathing rate is smooth and deliberate even in peak physical exertion. "What impresses me most is how calm he stays," Conti added. Between rounds, his body recovers like it's in slow motion. He's one of the most technically and biologically prepared fighters I've ever seen. Kent emphasizes that the secret sauce isn't just in the training, it's in the timing and quality of recovery. Using scientific gauges to track everything from oxygen saturation to body temperature, Crawford's team is pioneering a modern era of boxing. "We're beyond the old-school ways," Kent stated. "This is smart boxing. Precision-based. Data-driven." He predicts the upcoming weight cut for Crawford will be seamless, likening it to landing a 747 perfectly on the runway. With a stress-free transition to 168 pounds, Crawford may be entering the ring at the absolute best moment of his storied career, poised to shock the world.
Moving that jab up and down. And then when you go downstairs, take that downstairs, come up with the left foot. It's going to be open.
Looking ahead, Kent believes the next 3 months will be key to executing the final phase of Crawford's transformation. We'll gradually scale up his calorie intake and target the development of type 2B fast-twitch muscle fibers. Those are essential for power and speed. Instead of long-distance running or repetitive cardio, Crawford's training will shift into high-gear sprint intervals, explosive lifts, and complex plyometrics. "We're not skipping steps, though," Kent insists. "We don't talk about Step B until Step A is finished." Crawford is a true professional, he gives us creative freedom, and he's incredibly intelligent in understanding his own body and limits. Also aiding in his journey is boxing legend James Toney, who has stepped into camp to offer technical wisdom.
With Crawford's recent win, he's been asking for Canelo. Easy win. He'll beat Canelo. Easy win.
Speaking candidly with Mill City Boxing, James Toney, a former champion with over 90 fights and 0 knockout losses, said he could teach Crawford how to finish the job. If that fight with Canelo happens, I'm all in. I'll go back to camp and show him how to cook that head, fry the fish, and serve the ribs hot. Toney didn't mince words when comparing himself to Canelo. Canelo's not in my league. He can't carry my gym bag. He's beatable, and I can show Crawford exactly how to do it. For Toney, the fight is not just about tactics, it's about pride, legacy, and teaching the next generation how to seal greatness.
Diamond show. Same thing. Same ending? Show. Same thing. Trust me. Wow. Trust me.
Crawford knows the stakes, and he isn't underestimating the challenge. Yet Keith Thurman, former unified welterweight champ, thinks he knows why Canelo might avoid the fight altogether. Recalling a past moment during a private exchange, Thurman shared, "Canelo told me years ago that Crawford reminds him of Amir Khan, a fast, skilled guy who could give him serious problems." That psychological comparison might be more revealing than fans realize. Canelo's memory of facing a smaller, agile threat could be shaping his reluctance to give Crawford the green light.
Crawford's been calling out Canelo, and Canelo now is being rumored to be chasing Beterbiev. So I guess my question for you is, do you think...
Thurman expanded on that thought, reminding fans of the 2016 clash between Canelo and Amir Khan. Back then, Khan jumped 2 divisions to fight Canelo for the WBC middleweight title. The parallels to Crawford's current path are striking. Like Khan, Crawford would be coming up in weight, relying on speed, footwork, and precision. Thurman believes Canelo sees little benefit in such a matchup. If he wins, they'll say it was a mismatch. If he loses, it tarnishes his legacy. There's no upside.
Canelo should chase glory at 175, become undisputed, and take that route, or give this fight to Bud, the smaller man, which could be a bigger...
Despite Canelo's emphatic 6th-round knockout of Khan, the victory was heavily criticized. Many fans viewed it as a cherry-picked mismatch, with accusations that Canelo was padding his record against undersized opponents. Thurman says Canelo won't make the same mistake again. When you're at the top, you choose your path. He doesn't need to take high-risk, low-reward fights. He's in the driver's seat. Still, the call from Crawford is loud and persistent.
What route do you think he should go?
Nah, man. I mean, when we talk Canelo, I mean, you're talking about like the Mexican king, you know? So when you talk...
Keith Thurman continued by pointing out that Canelo Alvarez has, in the past, directly criticized Terence Crawford, suggesting he should remain in the 147-pound division. However, Crawford was quick to challenge that notion, particularly as the conversation ramped up following Canelo's bout with Edgar Berlanga. Speaking candidly on Sean Porter's podcast, The Porter Way, Crawford dismantled the weight argument by pointing to Canelo's own history. Canelo has been setting catchweights for years. He fought smaller men like Floyd Mayweather, Amir Khan, and most recently Jermall Charlo. Then came Crawford's knockout statement, "If I'm such an easy fight because of size, why does Canelo want $150 million for it?" That single rhetorical question exposed the cracks in Canelo's argument.
And when you talk about kings in the division, kings do what kings do, you know? So whatever he wants to do, man, that's how it is. You know, his last fight.
Crawford didn't hold back, calling out what he believes is a clear excuse. "I'm a threat to his legacy," he stated with calm defiance. While boxing history is filled with surprise matchups, the odds of Crawford versus Canelo happening now remain murky at best. Legendary promoter Bob Arum has already expressed a preference for Canelo to fight Artur Beterbiev instead, possibly in the coming year. With so many powerful interests pulling in different directions, it's unclear which challenge Canelo will accept, but one thing's for sure, Crawford is not stepping away quietly.
That's just what you're going to see out of Canelo. But the beauty is, you know, we get such a beautiful skill set of boxing, poise.
Leonard Ellerbe, CEO of Mayweather Promotions, offered a different perspective altogether. He believes that Canelo versus David Benavidez is the fight with the most momentum and business appeal. Despite Crawford's greatness and willingness to jump divisions, Ellerbe argues that Benavidez offers a more compelling opponent for fans and broadcasters alike. "It's not personal, it's business," Ellerbe stated. His reasoning centers on drawing power, legacy impact, and overall fight hype. According to him, Benavidez holds the stronger cards right now.
It's Crawford now. Crawford calling him out, saying he'll go to 68.
I really don't want to comment too much.
Ellerbe expanded further, asserting that Canelo versus Benavidez isn't just a bigger draw, it's a story years in the making. Even before Benavidez's victory over Caleb Plant, he had been loudly calling out Canelo, building anticipation within the fanbase. With Benavidez undefeated and holding a reputation as one of the division's most dangerous men, fans see him as the most legitimate threat to Canelo's crown. Now, with Alvarez preparing to announce his next opponent on Mexican television via Azteca, all eyes are on whether this long-building rivalry will finally be made official.
Terence is a terrific fighter. He's pound for pound,
Though fans are pushing hard for a Canelo versus Benavidez clash, reports from within the boxing industry hint at a different plan. According to insiders, Canelo Alvarez is set to face Jermall Charlo next. Canelo would defend his undisputed super middleweight titles in a major showdown on May 4th in Las Vegas, perfectly timed for the iconic Cinco de Mayo weekend. While this matchup certainly carries weight, it leaves both Benavidez and Crawford on the outside looking in, at least for now.
He knows what he's aspiring to do, what he wants to do in his career. Hope he gets to fight. It's not just that easy to say that you want to fight.
Names like Terence Crawford, David Benavidez, and even the lesser-known William Smith had all been floated as potential Canelo opponents. But respected outlet The Ring has now reported with confidence that Jermall Charlo will be Canelo's next foe. It's a strategic move, considering Jermall will be seeking redemption for his brother Jermall's loss to Canelo. When asked whether a fight with Crawford would outperform a bout with Benavidez in terms of revenue, Leonard Ellerbe didn't hesitate. "No, it wouldn't. I know the numbers, I know the business. Crawford's a great fighter, but the Benavidez matchup generates far more buzz and commercial value."
You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen like that. And I don't have nothing to do with any of that, but I'm just saying that. But if that's what he wants to do, I support.
There's no denying Crawford's greatness. He's regarded by many as the pound-for-pound best in the sport. But as Ellerbe explained, greatness alone doesn't guarantee box office success. Spence and Crawford were both undefeated and elite. But the biggest fight of the era wasn't that, it was Tank versus Ryan. He emphasized how the business side of boxing, including piracy, streaming rights, and viewer trends, has changed the playing field. Even with the hype, Spence versus Crawford didn't outperform Tank Davis financially. Ellerbe insists that boxing promoters have to account for these factors, not just legacy or skill, when making fights.
I mean, I'm not one of them people that says that, oh, he's in over his head kind of thing. I would never say that. He's a terrific fighter.
What would Leonard Ellerbe, the boxing fan and the boxing mind, the man who's made so much money in this business, what would he...
rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down. So I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a legend.
Continuing on the business theme, Ellerbe said, "We're not just throwing money away here." While he acknowledged that some promoters gamble recklessly, he emphasized that Mayweather Promotions makes calculated, long-term plays. Sometimes the best fights aren't the most obvious ones, he explained. You'll see that in the upcoming card on Amazon Prime. It's not an all-star lineup, but it's going to deliver great action and real value for fans. We always think long-term, and this is just the beginning. When asked who he'd favor in a Canelo versus Crawford bout, Ellerbe didn't offer a direct answer, at least not from a boxing standpoint. "If you're asking me strictly from a business angle, the Benavidez fight is the far bigger event. No question." Meanwhile, boxing analyst and former champion Sean Porter offered his own take on the Canelo versus Crawford debate. He raised concerns about Crawford's ability to absorb Canelo's power over a full 12-round fight. "I love Crawford's skills, but I do worry about what happens when those big punches start landing. Canelo is no joke.